Hey there, and welcome. We talk a lot about success, job titles, promotions, the size of our paycheck. But today, we're going to go a little deeper than that. We're talking about how to build a life that's not just successful on paper, but one that's packed with genuine purpose and real direction.
So let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about it. In all the craziness of daily life, have you ever just stopped and asked yourself, who am I becoming? I'm not talking about what you're doing or what you're earning. I mean, at your very core, who are you evolving into?
And that question is at the heart of everything we're talking about today. See, true, lasting success, it isn't just a checklist of things you've achieved. It's really defined by the person you become on that journey. It's about your character, your values, and the impact you have on others.
Okay, so to really get this, let's look at success from a different angle. It's not just this one single thing. It's more like, well, a coin with two very different sides. Let's dig into what those are.
All right, so on one side of that coin, you've got career success. This is the stuff we're all familiar with, right? Building up your skills, climbing that corporate ladder, making sure you're financially stable. And look, that's all super important. But then you flip the coin, and you've got life success. This is the other half of the equation. It's about who you are as a person, your character, the strength of your relationships, the good you put out into the world, your health, and maybe most importantly, your peace of mind.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The real magic, the true feeling of fulfillment, happens when these two sides aren't separate, but are actually working together. I mean, you can have all the career success in the world, but if it feels disconnected from who you are, it just feels empty, doesn't it? That deep down satisfaction comes from getting those two worlds to line up.
So the big question is, how do we actually do that? How do we build that bridge between our work and, well, our spirit? How do we make sure our job isn't just a way to pay the bills, but is actually a reflection of the person we're trying to become? And really, it all boils down to this question you have to ask yourself, honestly. Is my career supporting my personal values? Is it just a job, or is it giving you a chance to be who you really are? Does it fill you up, or does it leave you feeling drained? The answer to that tells you everything you need to know about your alignment.
And getting that alignment right is so crucial, because that's where your real drive comes from. I'm not talking about the temporary boost you get from a bonus. I'm talking about that deep, sustainable fire that keeps you going for the long haul. We've got to figure out what truly fuels us from the inside out.
Just think about it. You've got external motivators, things like your salary, getting praise from your boss, winning an award. And yeah, they feel great, but that feeling can fade pretty quickly. The stuff that really lasts, the fuel that's truly sustainable, comes from inside. It's that desire to grow as a person, feeling connected to a purpose bigger than yourself, living by your values, and finding real meaning in your work. That's the stuff that carries you through when things get tough.
And the good news is, this isn't something you're just born with. You can actually build up that inner drive with some really intentional habits. Like committing to always be learning something new. Or taking a little time each week just to reflect on where you are and where you're headed. Setting goals that are challenging, but, not impossible. And this is a big one, actually stopping to celebrate the small wins. That gratitude practice, it's huge for your well-being. And finally, make sure the people you're around are also trying to grow. Your environment matters so much.
In all this talk about success and drive, there's something that often gets lost in the shuffle. And it's this: kindness is a strength. Seriously, true success, the kind that feels good deep down, isn't just about being the best. It's about supporting others, encouraging them, and being a good person along the way. Because let's be honest, success that feels empty, well, it isn't really success at all, is it?
All of this, your character, your values, your impact, it all leads to this really big, profound idea, your personal legacy. And when you hear that word, don't think it's just for famous people or presidents. No, every single one of us is building a legacy, right now, every single day. The real question is, what will you leave behind?
And just to be clear, when I say legacy, I'm not talking about a building with your name on it or a big bank account. A legacy is the memory people carry of you. It's the impact of your actions, those little ripples you send out into the world. And maybe more than anything, it's the values that you consistently showed up with every single day.
And here's the most important part to get. Your legacy isn't some grand project you work on at the end of your life. It's being built right now. It's the sum total of all your daily choices, every single interaction. It's built with your values, your effort, and just being intentional about how you live.
So here's a thought experiment for you. If you were gone tomorrow, what would people really say about you?
Not just the polite stuff, but what would they say about who you were, how you made them feel? That answer, that's the first draft of your legacy. And the beautiful thing is, you have the power to start editing that draft today.
Okay, so how do we take all these big ideas and make them concrete? Well, I want to give you a really powerful tool to do just that. It's called a Personal Success Manifesto, and it's your chance to put all of this down on paper as a commitment to yourself.
So what exactly is a success manifesto? Well, think of it less like a to-do list and more like a personal declaration. It's basically a letter you write to your future self. It's where you state clearly who you are becoming, what you stand for, and how you promise to live and work.
We can break it down into 6 core parts, and they're all pretty profound. First up is your identity. Who are you becoming? Second, your values. What do you stand for? Third, your career direction. Fourth, your character commitment. This is about how you'll handle yourself when things get tough. Fifth, your contribution. What impact do you want to have? And finally, number 6 is your promise, which ties it all together.
So that final promise might sound something like this one here. It's meant to be a powerful, personal statement that becomes your North Star. It's that thing you can look back on when you feel a little lost, to remind yourself what this is all about. So take a second. What would your promise to yourself be?
Look, everything we've talked about today, right now, they're just ideas. The real work, the real change, that all begins the moment you decide to actually do something with them. Your journey to a life filled with purpose, it literally begins right now.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. This explainer might be ending, but your own purpose journey, that's really just beginning. Take these ideas, use these tools, and go out there and build a life that isn't just successful, but one that is truly, deeply meaningful.